So yeah, these are, excuse me, because I could have to walk all the way up there. It'd probably take forever. These are called the elevator stairs. I guess because they function like an elevator. All right, take it slow. If I take it slow, I think that was pretty much my reaction the last time I came up these stairs and saw that sign. I'm a man with an iPhone recording myself going up these stairs. How is that not suspicious? Already getting winded. I'm not even having to fake this. I made it. Look how high I climbed. Ground's leveled off, and I know the castle's kind of just around the corner here. Lots of really tall, towering houses up the hills here. Yeah, I just climbed a lot into these West Hills, and these roads are so thin, and the houses are just, that's the one thing I don't really love, is the whole houses butted up against stuff, but I mean, you can't argue with the homes and the property. Yeah, it's, Piggot's castle is literally right around these trees. You can start to see, yeah, there's the top of the tower. I've only been here once. Yeah, look at how high up I've gone. It's a little obstructed by the brush, but again, yeah, this is Piggot's castle. It was built by Charles Piggott, who was a pretty prominent Portlander. I mean, you'd kind of have to be in order to have a home like this. I love this place. And see, it just kind of wraps around. Imagine living here. You've got this view of downtown in the distance. Yeah. You can even see there's pictures on the wall. I don't know how well. You can't really see them. You can kind of see them a little bit. There's pictures on the wall. I wonder if one of those is Charles Piggott. Just look at the architecture. And from what I've read, Piggott himself only lived here for like a year or two. And the tower up here, I've heard reports that he wrote, because he wrote this really crazy book that I actually own. And I've heard reports that he wrote it in that tower. I think this is part of the home too. But yeah, so Charles Piggott was a prominent Portlander. He was a businessman. And he was also a writer. I mean, he was also an attorney. He actually was involved in a very infamous case that I do a Historic Murders of Portland episode on, where this kind of drunken, rundown lawyer named James Finch killed a prominent Portland attorney who was actually like a prosecutor named Ralph Fisher. Apparently because Ralph Fisher had his lawyer's license, whatever you want to call it, suspended for a year, and he went to his office and shot him. Well, James Finch, the killer, actually was a close associate with Charles Piggott, and Charles Piggott actually kind of tried to help with his defense on trial. And it's known that Charles Piggott called Ralph Fisher, like within a couple days of it being killed, saying he had something kind of urgent to talk to him about. He wasn't in the office. He said he'd call back, and he never did. So it's continues to loom. What did Charles Piggott have to talk to Ralph Fisher about? This guy that was so close to the man that killed him days later. But Charles Piggott also wrote this book that I have, this crazy book. Wrote it around the turn of the century, and it was called Pearls at Random Strung. And it was this book about how to like live well and survive in the world. And I forget a lot of what I read. I've read about a half of it. I just remember he talked about like the diet you should have every day. It was there's a great emphasis on having bananas every day, and it was a very interesting read because there was all this just crazy and this stuff, the raving lunatics that he would say in this book. But at the same time, he was, you know, he would talk about how much he revered women, how women deserve the same respect as men, and in many cases women were better than men. So, you know, for being turn of the century, he was a pretty innovative fella. But at the same time, you know, I said they claim that he wrote this book in the tower of Piggot's castle there. I'm not 100% sure if that's true. That's just what I've heard. He also apparently said that women were not allowed to go into the tower. So there goes your some of your seeming feminism out the window. So he was all over the place. He was a very strange guy, but very prominent, very well-to-do. And he had that house, that magnanimous castle built, and then he only lived in it for a short while. So I don't really know. And I honestly don't know where I'm going now. That was part of, like, when I came up here, I saw the castle, and then I turned around and went back home. So I honestly don't know where I'm going now. I don't know. But I wanted to just traverse these cutting back streets and just see a little bit more of Southwest Portland I've never seen. And start with Piggot's castle back there. Iconic landmark of Portland.